Yammy yammy yams. I am muted because you got me discombobulated. I was looking through the chat. I was about to go through dialogue for you. Yammy Lambs, what you been doing? Chelsea, I'm still muted. I'm still muted, Chelsea. I'm still muted. I muted because you got me discombobulated. There we go, Chelsea. So Chelsea, if you don't know, I used to be a Twitch streamer, and we got Twitch communities, and part of the community that I get to be a part of, aka the certified varsity and so on and so forth, Miss Yams is a entertaining Twitch streamer. She do a lot of game sims, if you like the sims type things, and she got to get a little ratchet. Nonetheless, appreciate you pulling up over here, Yummy Lambs. Chelsea, Lauren, how you feeling today? Derek, what's going on with you? We talking about visits. How ironic is it that we talk about visits on my stream today, and I get a special visit? So, if you don't feel special, I do today. It's Easter. My little sugar mama get to enjoy, what do you call, she gets to enjoy Easter in a different lens this year. That's what I want to say. Evie Ray, welcome to the Postal Gang, baby. Yams, so it's always going to be on Sundays, but I will admit that I don't have a set, I'm going to do it at this time. But while we're talking about something, I really want to see if this works out for me. So give me one moment just to go through some things over here and see if I got this going. Chelsea. That's what I'm talking about, Chelsea. Somebody help me put a little bit of interactive type things with the stream. And today, while we talking visits, y'all, the title about the stream, as we see some pre-draft visits. In the NFL, every team is allotted 30, which is why they call it top 30, visits of NFL prospects that they can invite into the facility, kind of poke prod, get behind the scenes information to go along with the things that they have on tape. So those are not including the combine meetings, but they can include, medical checks, whiteboard sessions, where quarterbacks go up, diagnose plays, break down random play processes and so on and so forth. Personality evaluations. They might want to go out to dinner, and I'll give you a story about that if you give me a minute. NBA, and I believe the year Derrick Rose was drafted, him and Michael Beasley both had interviews with the Bulls, and at the interview, which was a dinner, G Honda, for Derrick Rose and for Michael Beasley spent the entire dinner with his phones in his hands, going back and forth with people that were not at the dinner. As far as the optics will go, you're not interested in the gig. So a personality evaluation can go to see if you fit in with the locker room, if you would jive with the coach, mesh well with the culture, so on and so forth. And then you get to have some scheme fit type discussions, because in college, as Chelsea might be able to attest, the collegiate game does not always evaluate your proper skill set for a true scheme in the NFL, i.e. where you might play. And it only goes to give you the opportunity to highlight what you've done already. My apologies. And so I think when you have those types of opportunities to sit down and discuss a scheme fit, a Kansas State Wildcat, baby, Sam Hitch. When you get to go ahead and discuss those things with them, you understand whether or not you and that person have a symbiotic relationship. And because you're going to have a working relationship, and that's important. So while you may get no players from those visits, I think you get a variety of information, a wealth of info that allows you to better assess the person along with the player, Lauren. And I think that top 30 visits give you the ultimate peel back or behind the scenes type of situation to kind of guess what direction your team might be going in when it comes to the draft. Because obviously we do these top 30 visits for an opportunity to potentially draft these young men, bring them into the fold, and have them be a member of the team. And so when that comes to be something that you want to have happen, you want to see that they can fit in schematically, personality wise. Do they have a business mindset in terms of being able to do the job appropriately, and do they like football? And so those types of things do allow you to feel a bit more integrated when it comes to the decisions you got to make, because you got to pay a lot of money to these guys. You got to see where their head is and understand that those are the players you might want to bring in. So my first question for you, do you think that these top 30 interviews and interviews in general for the sporting arena matter? Type yes or no in the chat. So yes, if you do agree that they matter, those interviews can weigh heavily into deciding on said players. Or no, don't really matter what you're saying there. Kick your feet back, and if they like you, they like you. While I comb my hair. Look, Papa got a Papa beard. Sometimes you just want to give it a little bit what G Honda can't do with his. But make sure while we talking about it, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, tell some people to come on over and watch the stream. Today we will get into breaking down specifically some of the guys that the Bears have reported and people that have been speculated for top 30 visits. And from that top 30 list, after we go through those people, we will attempt to once again put a mock draft together. We have 18 days until the NFL draft. And in those 18 days, I want to be able to formulate some of the best opportunities or possibilities, I should say, for what the Bears and other teams may do moving forward. I know that Chelsea may have some people that she specifically wants the Cowboys to target in the draft. I know Derek and other football fans of different teams. Yams is an Eagles fan, so I know that hubby might have some ideas. I know even the giraffe, the knock-knee giraffe, known as G Huron, G Not Handsome. I'm sorry, Genarius. My bad. Or Jennifer with a G, Hudson. Don't do it today, G Honda. Go ahead and do it. It's a rebirth day, so we're gonna get you right there. Make sure you hit that like button, and we will talk about what teams really look for in these top 30 visits. If you don't, get you a blue cup, take you a sip. And as we can see, they got G Honda always got Derek. If he ain't always got something to say, bro, it ain't never gonna be an opportunity for this cat not to say something. No, you know what, G Honda, I don't, man. I do a poor job of doing anything in that thing. You know, unlike you, I can hop out of bed and, you know, look like a something. Derek said they need a run stopper. And I asked that, Derek, because for the draft in specific, I want to have questions to ask the fan. I know what I think most people from my team would like to have happen as far as the draft goes, but I don't know that I have the ultimate general purpose question. You know, the G Honda Walmart question to go along with some of these things that's going on out here. So for these intents and purposes, we will go through a list of names of these people, because I think that the visits in themselves are not about like talent or talent discovery. It's, you know, because you already know they can play. I think what you really are evaluating is football IQ, desire level for football. I want to see if they got some sort of character and accountability traits that appeal to me. We want to possibly check in on the injury history. That's why I said, like, the medicals may be a part of your top 30 visit, because you got a player that you eyeing in whatever round, and for whatever reason you don't want to commit to this player, because when you got the medicals back, you realize that these particular things are something you can't look over. Lauren, if you couldn't comment, G Honda's knees was blocking everything that was going on. If you don't know, G Honda got some rather lethal kneecaps. Sometimes they block things from coming around because he think all the shots are coming at him when they really nobody is shooting shots at him. He's just nervous. I mean, but you really got to realize that these medical evaluations, these interviews, the whiteboard breakdowns, so on and so forth. One, they can have a team. My apologies. They can have a team take you from, let's say, a low 4th round pick to possibly a 3rd round pick and above. It could take you into a stratosphere where you were a borderline pick, 1st, 2nd round, and it can either propel you or it can drop you down in some instances. If you don't interview well and you do this multiple times, at some point people start to have trepidation about it. Look at them adamantium knees. That's exactly. They can block words right there, man. They impervious to a couple things. But if you understand that these questions, these last minute background checks, if you will, to see if a player has some coachability, to see if they can translate the scheme, you kind of want to find players at all times that are not scheme dependent. I want to see scheme transcendent players on my team. Flexibility is a good thing to have. At the same time, some people could say that flexibility would indicate that you don't have a true skill or mastery of a skill at any given place, i.e., jack of all trades, master of none. And so, do I want you to be good at everything or great at one thing? And some people don't want you to do that. We talk about these scheme fits, and some players are thought to be great in pass rush, but not so much in the run game. Well, if he is thought to be great at one thing, which is the pass rush, which is said to be great, then why is it a ding that he's not so great in every subject? Nonetheless, we get into understanding that sometimes this could take a play off the board entirely. People can see those medicals. They can be a big red flag, too many college injuries, and they don't want to have anything to do with you. And so, like, in college, the tape gets you in the door. The visit can decide if you stay or not. And so, you know, when we talk about these visits and character and so on and so forth, would you rather draft an elite talent with bad character, or the good locker room guy who's not that good when it comes to skill set. Especially in yams. And that comes about, I think, in all aspects, because when you interacting with your coach, just like if you're interacting with your team lead, with your supervisor, yes, you have to put the work in. So you got to be the person to be able to convey specifically how you learn it, if you are able to learn it, and how you going to get some things moving in your direction. Because otherwise, you come into my establishment and we really ain't got nothing going on for you. Like, you're supposed to have a whole array of moves. You know everything that's going on. But for me, when it comes to knowing exactly what you got that's beneficial to the establishment, you can't minutely give me what that means. And if you can't do that, it's one of them types. We can't even understand how, bruh, we can't let you do it. Don't understand how you can come in, be able to do, and not be able to at least slightly articulate what it is that you do well. T Miles, what's going on with you, baby? How you feeling today, bro? We top 30 in right now. And let's see. Boom, boom, boom. We'll say interviews are important. Gotta have some. Yeah, just like all over the top. If you can't do the basic things, G Honda, basic word pronunciation, then you can't do it. G Honda, if you don't come here talking about my quarterback, man. It's Easter, man. It's a whole different day out in the world. You come in here talking about my quarterback, man. I would appreciate you not do it. Refrain, please, good sir. So I mean, that's what I want to know. We can talk about real stuff, G Honda. Let's get back to it. So we're gonna give you a list over here because I don't think that Ryan Poles just uses top 30 visits, or any GM for that matter. But I think in a good way, these are things that are able to be weaponized. And so let's he don't even know what to do as a mod anyway, Chelsea. It's merely for his own protection. It's like putting safety precautions around the house for a toddler and for a kid. You got to do it. So you got to be able to do that just for people like G Honda. I ain't really worried about him. We'll be good. Nevertheless, the list of people, like I said, are all people that have been reported, speculated, or have already concluded these particular visits. So we got Dejon Striblin, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. We got Yeager Burden, the center from Kentucky. Seth McGowan, the running back from Kentucky. Brian Parker, my apologies. Offensive lineman from Duke. Dan Villari. Kalen Black. Jake Galday. Capen Gushikin. Romello Height. Athan Kalakamanis. That's a crazy name right there. Jeremy Washington from it's Jeremy Bernard from Alabama. Denzel Bernard Boston. Get your mind right. Denzel Boston is from Washington. Jeremy Bernard, you know who that is? Jeremy Bernard from Alabama. I know you do, Chelsea, but I don't know much about him. Oscar Delp. And you know what? To better do it for all of us, we're gonna do this good old slideshow way if I can. You did. We ain't gonna deal with it no other way. Let's see if we can do exactly what I'm trying to do over here. I'm trying to work on some new things crowd wise that have me be better interactive. First round pick, secondary, pass rusher. And we actually gonna get to a mock draft at the end of the draft, G Honda. But what we want to do right now is because Ryan Poles allegedly has never drafted a person from the top 30 visits. So that would mean the player was not available. They didn't like the player, or a myriad of reasons why they still didn't get him. What I want to do, Chelsea had a visit, so we going through people that had visits, will have visits, and so on and so forth. And that's one of those people that they talked about when we go through it. So we got nothing but a little.
Is it the guys that they're bringing in on their top 30 visits this week? You see Caden McDonald right at the top, then Jimmy Rolder, Jager Burton, some real talent across the board. We'll keep updating this as more names.
We get more names come about. We're going to keep updating that. That's my cousin. Jimmy Hold'em out there. We got a special delivery when we talk about positions. So we're going to break them down for you. Those will come via the trench monsters, as I call them. Edge, defensive line. We got players like Zion Young, Romello Height, R. Mason Thomas, and Renee Conga. D. Wright. Okay, so T. Miles, all visits have not been reported yet. You still have a couple weeks because they usually try to keep these in-house or last minute. And the way they get out typically goes like what do you call it? The agent leaks those types of things so that they can kind of have leverage going into the draft. If you hear somebody had a top 30 visit with this team, then you are more prone to believe that the team is interested in said player. Now, let's say you wanted to have that player in the third round, but multiple teams that have picked before you in those first 3 rounds or what have you have taken a visit with this guy. So with some people's lens, it will intimate that I think if you visited with this guy and you picked 21st, and I know you pick other rounds, but you pick 21st and I pick 25th, I'm instantly compelled to believe that you have interest in taking him as high as I have. And at that point, I want to be able to make a contingency plan to either trade up and get my guy if I really want my guy, make alternative solutions for if that guy's not available, or get him off my board, period, because you might want him. And so it's like a domino effect. And so people try to keep it under no. I'm not certain if Darnell was a top 30. Do me a favor. That's why I said allegedly. And they could go along. And while we at it, let's look at it right now. Boom, boom, boom. Has Ryan Poles, let me do it this way. Has Ryan Poles ever drafted one of his top 30 visits as a general manager for the Chicago Bears? Juicy, what's going on? Hey, Juice. So 2023 is the only year that correlates. You're right. 2022, 24, 25, no. But 2023, multiple picks had visits led by Wright. Yeah, we got to figure this out right then. Juicy. So your boy got to apply for the partner program yesterday over in these YouTube streets. We're going to find out soon enough if you are deserving of wearing the crown. And if you ain't, You get back to the work. Nashawn went to the Jets. G Honda. Wrong green. Sometimes you got to. Sometimes you gotta. You gotta put the work out in these streets and see how things go. And we one step closer to getting the desired result per se. Make sure when you coming in, we hit the like button, share the content. When we talk about sharing the content, Juicy, I still appreciate you reposting on the Twitter every time I put it out. You and Avion, I do not miss seeing the retweets or what have you. Yemi Lamb always let me post in the Discord, so don't go unnoticed. We see it. I appreciate y'all still. I know I don't be out in them YouTube streets, but I mean in them Twitch streets. My apologies. I see it. It's a grind in itself because it's something that I still think I need to get exponentially better at, and content output and production need to continue to increase, at least double, if not more. So trying to do that, get the gig in order, try to gear up for an opportunity to enjoy a better trajectory when it comes to the summertime and everything. But my little sugar mama. So you gotta stay consistent. Shout out to Maddie Pace. Look at Avion in the background over there. Shout out to Maddie, telling your boy to get on the tube, do the things that needed to be done. So we gonna keep working, keep grinding. It's a process, just like the Bears football process and the NFL got the draft process. If y'all do not know, April 23rd, 8 o'clock, I do believe, maybe a little earlier. Check out the thumbnails. We will be going live from Pittsburgh and covering the draft on site, baby. We getting on these Pittsburgh streets. We gonna get us a nice little sandwich from an authentic shop. Maybe we'll get a little lunchtime, what do you call, live stream. Nothing sports, just a chop session perhaps, as I take a trip through the mean Pittsburgh streets, see how things go. Yeah, we part of the opportunity is to get outside in the streets, Juice, to put boots to the ground, enjoy a content opportunity from a fan perspective and a content situation. I got a few content creators in the YouTube space that I've been fortunate to share panel spaces with. I get to meet, some people while I'm in Pittsburgh as well. I will be a guest on a panel Saturday night. The Real 2 Sports Network. So anybody got some Saturday night time to hear your boy chop some shit with his contemporaries on the sports tip, be old and do things, I guess, that truly fit the niche of things that I like to do. But we ain't gonna talk about it too much. We gonna figure out how we can build up the perfect segue to content for me. And by me, I mean things that are gonna make the Bears better. Always gives my streams a better juice, gives me a better energy, better mood, and it gives me that much more stuff to pump out as far as content goes, since I am somewhat Bear-centric, regardless of what sport we talk about. April 23rd is the first night of the draft. Thursday night, we getting thirsty, Juice. I got it. I'm waiting on my lavalier mic and everything to get here, get my equipment out here. Might give me a I don't know. I'm trying to think, should I give me a pod so that I don't move so much, or should I get a crossbody? We're gonna look into all avenues, but this is I guess the time where the transition we got one part going. Now the work got to get doubly hard. But let's get back to what I'm talking about over here. My GM, as T Miles indicated, has had a couple 30 visits in the 2023 season or 2022. One of those. I just misspoke. I think it's 23 with Darnell Wright. Nonetheless, in those instances, we get to understand that a lot of those players, like I said, for whatever reason, might not have been available, and we didn't have the opportunity to get them. Some players, just like a date, you went out, you ate, you conversed, didn't really line up with your goals, and so you keep it pushing, whatever. You don't waste your time trying to make it work. Just a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of investment. So you hope you did your homework. Chelsea, make sure you always put your link in. And Chelsea, when you in here, you don't gotta wait for me to acknowledge or shout you out to put your link in the page. I mean, on the page. Chelsea is my go-to girl when it comes to sports. Chelsea is the absolute reason that I get to have an opportunity to even be on Real 2 Sports because of her plug, her connections, her connect. So make sure you always put yours out. Anybody in the space that does not have her content, she does a lot more reaction. She does daily topics, a lot more crowd engaged in terms of the way in which she can spray from all fields. They have a lot of hot button type of current event and sport conversations as well, if I can classify it that way. Let me know if I misspoke on that one, Chelsea, but feel free. Real 2 has a more of a panelistic approach where they get to debate the day's topics, maybe things that intrigue them about their own individual teams. I do like the fact that everyone doesn't have the same team on that panel, so it gives them a different way to look at things, to be a bit more fanatic driven. Some opinions may be a lot more fact induced, and some of them may just be plain buck nasty hate. And that's okay, because that's what sports is about. Nonetheless, we got trench priorities that we need to get into. Ryan likes high character guys, as we know, captains, leaders, so on and so forth. Scheme specific fits, that's a DA type thing, I think, and way more of a thing that Ben Johnson is heavily committed to. Not just finding the best player, but the best players that fit the culture, don't have distraction. He don't want to draft distraction. He wants to draft, infusion, per se, if you want to look at it that way. So I think the high character guys are the way they typically go. Ryan does have a propensity to go ahead and draft people who are from the Chicago land and Chicago area. Gives them in his head a bit more of a civic pride to want to play for the team and give them the maximum level of effort if I could, just to say, just like that. Queen, if we not getting, I feel like I'm live. I think I'm on restream or something. Like I'm live streaming twice or something. Queen Lifeline, how we feeling today? I feel like I'm streaming twice. Y'all understand? Your boy, we get to see Twitch and YouTube do something like that. Works for me. Now, I will tell y'all, a lot different, a lot more buttoned up, if you will. So sometimes I do want to stream on Twitch so that it can be a bit more of a familial aspect. Like I like to think of it like Twitch is where family and everybody can come together and have a good time. YouTube is where some of the business kind of works to keep itself at bay, if you will. I am always doing well. Always want to do better. We out here celebrating a little milestone. I just hit 1K subscribers last week on YouTube. I just applied for the partner program. We out here doing a little bit of top 30 visits. I don't know. I know you probably don't give a good goddamn about no top 30 visit Queen Lifeline, but this is like the twerk fest of the NFL, if I can give it to you in your terms. Well, they trying to do what needs to be done in they interview to win the first prize. And what's first prize? Higher draft status. Because the higher you get drafted, the more money you make. And people like that money. They like a little money. People won't get a little money. So when we talk about scheme specific fits and everything like that, when they want to draft for power, they want to have size on the edges, they want to have pass rush upside with those guys, and depth in the trenches. So when you think about guys like Zion Young, Romello Height, Renee Conga, what's another guy? R. Mason Thomas, those types of guys, you can kind of get the mold of people that fit the scheme. And I say this because these are guys whom they've had in for top 30 visits as far as the edge rush goes. So when you get those types of guys to come in, they all fit around the 6'3" range, maybe 260 is the physique, 245 to 260 is the physique that they typically have in here for an edge. Lengthy, a little bit more of athleticism and speed, a lot of burst. And we can see this reflected in some of the guys that they have already went ahead and interviewed. You get to what I call the mailroom guys, the big heavies in the middle, because although DA likes to have a slender, speedy guy on the outside, I don't think that they would be averse to having a run stuffer. But if that, and that's evidence, I would say, by the Cade McDonald visit. Also, another mold of a Shamar Turner, a bit more of a slender guy. As far as Bill goes for the defensive tackle position, you got Antario Thompson from Washington, and I think he is maybe 270-ish. And so when you think about a guy like him, maybe a Zane Durant, and I could be totally giving you his weight in a lesser role, but I know he's not a 300-plus guy like a Cade McDonald. So both are elite run defenders, immediate impact players, and they fix the run defense issues. You wonder which of the two styles might they which of the two styles might they like, and would Ontario be somebody that is more of a depth piece? Could he be somebody early on? I don't know if they've interviewed people like a Grayson Holden, but they did do a lot of interviews in Indianapolis, so it only speaks to who they brought into the facility. So maybe they interviewed as many people as they wanted in Indianapolis. If they had any questions about anything or any, secondary curiosities, bring those guys into the facility. I can get my own medical staff in here, so on and so forth, just to kind of iron things out. At that point, you wonder which of the two guys that they brought in is their style. And you think about Shamar Turner because he is built in that particular vein. Is Antario Thompson more of a depth piece to ensure that if a Shamar does not develop as fast, or doesn't recover as quickly from injury, is that going to be something that would preclude him from being as much as or as significant of an impact as he could be? And so you look at a guy like Antario Thompson just to see if that might be a reason to bring him in. Maybe he's a free agent, undrafted. I think he's more of a late round pick, maybe a fifth and below. I could be misquoted in that. They don't give very much of a background to the guys when they get top 30 visits, but you do bring in guys that you even might be interested in signing as undrafted, because how the board falls, sometimes somebody for character flaws and everything else may not reach a depth of the draft and they have to sign as an undrafted, or they choose to, because some players, once they get 6th round, 7th round, they almost have instructions from their agents or vice versa. I'm not even interested in being drafted. That way I can go the undrafted free agent route. I can pick a team that is best to mesh with my skill set, and it gives me the best opportunity to prolong my career, garner a second contract, and have some longevity when it comes to my playing career. So I think people oftentimes, kind of frown upon a undrafted free agent when we talk about these top 30 visits and things like that. But I can be an undrafted guy and choose the job that I want, as opposed to being the coveted guy in the draft and be the guy that I have to pretty much go where they tell me to go. So we look at those types of situations in a lot of different ways. And we get to look at things in a different way. When we talked about the pod that I'll be on the 25th, we want to click that YouTube link and subscribe to those guys' channel. If no other reason than to hit that notification button and pull up from time to time. Maybe something that your friends might like, or it may be that you just want to pull up and support your boy that day for discussion. We can make sure that always happens. So I appreciate you pushing that link out for me, Chelsea, as well. And we get back to some more names on this list before we kind of get into the meat of it, which is my favorite part of this thing. The draft these days is becoming more and more exciting to me to find out exactly what it is that people want to do team-wise. It gives you the opportunity, one, like I said, to connect with like-minded fans, and you might have a different approach of how we're going to achieve success. And it gives you the opportunity to problem solve with a group that may not see things the way you do, but want the same result. So I think the mock scenarios and being interactive are the perfect times for us to go through the people that have been visited, the people that we would like to see them visit, and kind of mesh those things together. Because today, when we talk about the draft that we'll do as a mock, we will try to keep specific tabs, if you will, on all of the names that we go through. Because if any of those people are available, our draft theme today will try to be a top 30 draft theme. So we are going to try to get through the draft and draft as many top 30 visits players as we can. If you got any interest in doing that with your boy, put a 1 in the chat. If you want to do a top 30 style draft theme today, T-Miles and so on and so forth, let me know. And I say T-Miles a lot, y'all, because I know T-Miles is a Bears fan. So it does give him a little bit of precedent to make a choice out in these streets, in these YouTube streets. But let me get to the next one, because these linebackers are the only guys that I've known to have done interviews. I could be misspeaking, just based on, like I said, they don't privy you to all information. And so at that point, Jimmy Rolder, Jake Golday. Now, Rolder, I believe, is from Michigan. Golday is from Cincinnati. Both are instinctive and physical. Both are said to have strong run defending skills, and they both offer special teams value. When a guy offers special teams value, I don't instantly think starter, because you don't think starters really play special teams necessarily, but they could be your initial foray into the NFL. And as situations progress, like let's say a tight end, a linebacker like a TJ Edwards may have to move on. Maybe one of these guys have already been doing some of the leg work that allows them to seamlessly transition into that next position. And while this year may be more special teams and lesser tier roles in terms of their responsibility, next year may be the opportunity where they totally, blow them out of the water and get things going there. So that could be the way in which they attempt to go, but we get to see. Also, for the secondary, Bears had in guys such as Malik Muhammad, the cornerback from Texas. I know Bear fan, I know Broski Bear likes Malik a lot. Kamari Ramsey's been somebody from USC. Capen Gushikin is somebody they brought in. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, when we speak about the safety position, is somebody that's been heavily linked to the Bears in mock drafts. Mansour Delane is not somebody that I've heard much about, because I think he'll be a higher round, first round pick, but he did apparently or allegedly have a top 30 visit with the Bears, along with Jalen Kilgore. All of those guys offer the versatility and range that DA and Al Harris prefer, and they have coverage and turnover potential. When you can take the football away, I think it instantly boosts you for me. But I think for a person or a coach like Al Harris, it shoots you to the top. So I'm wondering about guys like Zay Flowers. I mean, not Zay Flowers. What the hell am I talking about? Zay Frazier. And to see if Terrell Smith can return in a way that says he has learned on the sideline while he's hurt, and he can seamlessly get back into the mix and kind of give you starter quality minutes, even though he's not been able to prove to you he can do so in the last season due to injury. So just, another way to look at it. And we think about things that me personally as a Bears fan don't really get into. I'm naive or neglectful of understanding. My apologies. My understanding of wide receiver or the offense. I know a lot of people, since we've gotten rid of DJ Moore, want to have a dire need for a wide receiver, and I'm not so sure that it's dire. However, the Bears and Ben Johnson and his ongoing obsession with offense and offensive production, the Bears visited guys I think, or had in guys I don't think they'll have a chance to visit, and guys they might totally be able to sign. You think about Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon. I don't think we have a chance for anybody like that. But we did talk about Jeremy Bernard earlier, Denzel Boston, Chris Bell, Omar Cooper Jr., Markel Bell, the Ole Miss wide receiver that I'm blanking is on the screen right now. Dejon, Stribling, that's his name. Jordan Tyson, like I said, and you get to realize that all of these guys have speed and separation ability. I don't think the Bears have a vertical threat to stretch the field, like a 9-route central of sorts. So I do want to kind of see at what round, if any, will they address the wide receiver position from a wide receiver 4 standpoint. Maybe even lesser than that. But how can I put it? The amount of wide receivers that they have brought in, I won't say alarms me. It does give me a lot of surprise to kind of think that they have not stopped prioritizing offense when it comes to the people they brought in and how they want to approach the game moving forward. So that's interesting to me just to see that they had so many top 30 visits for guys that were at the wide receiver position. But the next position, when it comes to bringing in tight ends, I can totally understand it. Cole Kmet has about 2 years left on his deal. We have a lot of run sets that require multiple tight ends, and even if both of those guys are to be there, we have a situation where a blocking tight end is of paramount importance to the scheme, and being by bringing in Oscar Delp, who is, I think, more of a Cole Kmet type of player. Dan Villari gives you a lot more of the I'm trying to think of the term they use for it. An inline blocking tight end. That's the term. He's more of an inline blocking type at Syracuse, a bit more of a bulkier frame, and so he can serve as kind of like a pseudo lineman whenever they use a jumbo package for runs. So, and see, Ben wouldn't think so at all, because I just told you exactly why they would utilize those types of players. And so if they went and got a tight end in the 7th round that they thought was the perfect blocking tight end for their scheme, Ben is about running first. We're not talking about a tight end for the purpose of a weapon catch, because I think that's foolish when we talk about wide receiver, but a lot of people think we should draft a wide receiver. I'm not one, but even when we talk about who they brought in for a visit, T. Miles, it still gives us the opportunity to say they can sign these guys as undrafted free agents. They don't have to necessarily draft them, and it may give some insight. Let's see. Well, see, okay, I'm okay with the practice squad tight end moving up. Because I think like not a Carlson, but somebody in that vein may move up. They're gonna get somebody to replace Carlson. So I'm merely speaking on the fact that the Bears brought both of these guys in for top 30 visits. So while we see it like, man, they shouldn't be thinking about no tight end, the Bears themselves have told you that they have some type of contemplation about a tight end in some capacity because they actually brought two of them in for a top 30 visit. They didn't waste a visit just for Smythe is in Baltimore. Smythe don't play for the Bears anymore. Smythe gonna get more money and a bigger role. He's gonna be the number 2 tight end in Baltimore, not the number 3. He left with Declan Doyle because he knows the system. Man, hey, so T-Miles, this is where you know this guy right here. This look what he got. Look what he got to say. Look, Ben Johnson folding under pressure. G Honda. Every week you gotta do it, man.
Stop it. Get some help.
Every week you gotta do it, man. Every week. Get some help. Get some help. That's all I can tell you, G Honda. Like, I mean, like, pray for him, y'all. It's on Easter Sunday. He might get it together. One day he might. But let me tell y'all while we back to it, because some of these, like I said, or like I was about to say, T-Miles, some of these are late round gems, some sleepers. And this is where I think your GM separates himself from others by being able to find those late round guys, those undrafted free agents. He thrives in identifying some of that. And so it's just like the way in which they choose to set up these visits may boggle me, but not so much. But if you will, give me a minute. I need to check something real fast. Did this dude just try to gain an ally by intimating that Caleb was not held accountable? He trying to get friends. And now Brisker is his best friend in the world. G Honda. Oh, hey, I got to put this up because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever in my life heard. Tell me who was joking out here. Tell me who was making a joke. Chelsea. Chelsea. Are you serious? I mean, I don't know how to take that. No, did you read what T Miles? He is highly disappointed in Caleb. He brought back feelings of Rex Grossman. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss for words. Let's carry on. Let's get back to the slideshow. And let's not forget, we got a couple more positions they went out here and checked out. Bears brought in Seth McGowan, Caden Black, some one-cut runners, they fit the modern offense, a la what's my man's name? Oh, a DeAndre Swift. You know, they hit the hole like I want you to hit the like button decisively. No games played, boom, 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 click. And we there. You know, that's how they do it. They all one cuts. They are proficient in pass reception. I do believe that the Oklahoma guy, Mr. McGowan, is better at pass protection. So that always gives me a bias towards those people. And a bias against people like G Honda and Aaron Rodgers. But I digress. After we get our things together over here, we realize that hey, I love it. I love it. We need that, and his French tips need that to be motivated. So I'm all for that. The Warriors against shall not prosper. But this offensive line improvements will continue. And Jaeger Burton from Kentucky, Brian Parker from Duke, Max Iachinor, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, is the guy who has already did a top 30, but he's projected to be a first round pick. Keep your eyes there. But they did look at providing some interior protection, some depth, some versatility. G Honda. Damn right. With G Honda. So, whatever G Honda says around this stream, y'all, it's pretty much just how I feel about it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Somebody help the baby giraffe. His gait is still unsteady. His legs are wobbly, as adamantium is not fully stable yet, and he don't know how to walk with his knees. His neck it's heavy. It's a day is long. Like he been drinking 3/5, but he's not drank anything in multiple years. But I digress. We get back to a guy like Jaeger Burden. And we talking about Jaeger, I mean, maybe G Honda. I hope not, but maybe that explains it. This young man's first name could be the riddle or even the answer to said riddle of why you are always so inebriated with colorful answers. The French still spazzing, but wait a minute. What'd you say? French still passing for 3,999 yards, 32 touchdowns. I don't know what the 82 is. At 82. At 88. That's going to be his mad rating at 88. Throw for 30 touchdowns. He ain't going to throw for no damn 39.99, man. Don't do it, man. You wrong for that. You absolutely wrong for that. And let me tell you the last part before we get to the draft. Let me tell you the last thing that surprised me most when we talk about the opportunity for 30 visits and what the Bears might utilize. As much as I believe the quarterback room will stay intact, I'm not certain if this is a move to possibly put somebody on the practice squad until Case Keenum retires and move this guy up, or is this a guy that they actually think could be preeminent backup as we might move Tyson on draft day? Who knows? Shocked me to know that once again Chelsea was on Ryan Post's mind as he brought in for a 30 visit quarterback Alabama Ty Simpson, and let me see if I can get this right, y'all. Ethan Kalikmanis. Who knows? We tried it. They both will be, as this is classified, and Dan Orlovsky would roll his pound his fist on the desk to understand that they say this is developmental backups that are depth behind the starter. Dan has said that Ty Simpson is quite possibly the second best quarterback in this draft. Dan, you're not telling me that the number one quarterback in this draft may be a backup. Is Ty Simpson a starter in the NFL or a backup quarterback? Y'all let me know. Yeah, I don't know why you think he's a Giants fan. You love Harbaugh when Harbaugh used to be beating on your team left and right. Steelers fan. Who knows? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Do G Honey got a lucid thought? Ty Simpson does have a stronger upside than Mendoza. So you say he has a higher upside. With that, would he be behind him because he has a lower floor? If I'm utilizing that one correctly, is that how we would go about that? Right, G Honda? He can start for the Cowboys right now. Let's see what Chelsea says. What you say? I think Ty Simpson should be a backup, but he has been under an NFL style offense versus Mendoza. So Mendoza has been playing a gimmick or a collegiate system. But do we think Mendoza should be a starter? And do you think that Ty Simpson is a career backup, Chelsea, or do you think he should be a backup for just this year? Like, is this a one-off, or do you think lifetime clipboard holder that can give you some serviceable time every now and again in Ty Simpson? Let me know what you think. Ty Simpson got out more passes in short time to start those. So who has the better opportunity to be a starting quarterback in the NFL? And by that I mean successfully. Simpson or Mendoza? So you think he should be a start? You think he should be an eventual starter? And this says developmental backup. This breakdown doesn't imply that they will be a starter ever. So you think that you think that Ty should be a starter eventually? While I knock things over. You think eventually he should be a starter is what I'm getting from that, Chelsea. And this is not a Alabama take. This is a purely football quarterback take, because I don't watch collegiate football enough to give you any pushback as to whether or not you think he can be a starter in the league. If you think that, I'm all curious to know. Okay. I can dig that. So she wanted to go somewhere really where it's a bomb at. Have a situation where he can come up later on. I can dig it. Now, my boy, I told you, he's kept the mail room real good. Finds UDFAs. Finds, a variety of lower round players to help us out. But I think that top 30 visits are more accurate than mock drafts. And by that, I mean they give you the best opportunity for information to get a guy out there besides a random mock. And G Honda says that if built around him immediately, Mendoza can have rapid success. Chelsea is under some of the inverse thought and thinking that Mendoza is great, but especially if he sits under Kirk. So she think Kirk should start for a year, and then Mendoza will be the guy eventually, much like a Ty Simpson. So she's a lot more into development, I think, right, for that. And I think that, to get back to my statement, the top 30 visits matter more than mock drafts because, one, they show real team interest. Interesting question, G Honda. I don't know. Do you think that's how it goes these days? You think that's what they want to happen? Cause that would be crazy. That'd be real crazy, man, if there had any truth to that. That might be an interesting conspiracy theory. G Honda, maybe you can do, since I know sports is your thing, but maybe you can do all the conspiracy type things or the deep dives, all the sports dramas where your things go for real. I kind of like that one. That's the way you can attack any sport topic you talk about for real. because that was a real good question. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, but he's sad because Tony was there. He talking about the instant starter, like not to write home. Nothing to write home about is a Kirk Cousins right now. G Honda with a good question, y'all. Go figure. Nonetheless, my dude, best player available. I need a little energy. Chelsea. I repeat, Chelsea. Find a way. An airhead. Find a way to find out who has taken over G Honda's computer. That's two lucid statements in one stream chat. Please find out who has hacked G Honda's computer. Anybody know? Anyway, let's get back to it. So, the formula that my GM likes to incorporate most is BPA. What does BPA stand for? Best player available. And Ryan Poles is implemented the BPA system to a T. First year, he drafted two defensive players with our first two picks when we really didn't have much in the offensive foundation. Last year, they were famous for going tight end at 10 and then turning around and drafting a wide receiver at 39. People like me question it and so on and so forth. Now that the investigation is launched on that, we are going to get to the brass tacks and investigate how we will attack this particular situation, because when these 30 players visit teams, I don't think that it is random. I think that it's intentional. And I think that to have that level of journalism with a G be reported back to me. You know, G Honda just careens over the stadium and kind of just like see who pulls up and he reports back. Now he got a giraffe translator that gets straight clicks from giraffe language to the English text. Those are forwarded on over, and at that point, it is how we collect data on who did 30 visits in the NFL. Giraffian dialect, you know, those type, the journalism tongue type. You know, people don't understand it, but Dr. Doolittle could talk to animals. I can talk to a giraffe. I'm like no other. That's what the mailman does. Nonetheless, let's get to it with a chat question here. Would you get more inference about what your team intends to do from a mock draft or from actual team visits? Now, mind you, mock drafts are built basically on the inner workings and conversations of several team insiders and so on and so forth. So it's a collection of information. They don't just randomly come up with some of these things. They get insiders, as they call them, to help them out. And man, I'm telling you, what is going on today? This dude who has hacked the system. Giraffe language. This is bonkers, man. So, like, when I look at those lists now, do you just see names or do you see strategy? Is it a way to put out a smoke signal about players? Is it a way to signal your true intentions about what you want to do with a player? Is it a way to get clarification as to whether or not you feeling or ain't feeling that particular anymore? Because, defensive players obviously fix our identity. The Bears had a lot of offensive players that they went ahead and interviewed. The O-line is about protecting Caleb. So, it's understandable when you get the centers, the exterior and the interior of the lines. Wide receivers, while I don't maybe think about the wide receiver and tight end on the whole, or even the running back for that position, I mean, for that matter, I do realize that DeAndre Swift will be possibly out next year, and they want to have his replacement in tow already. Offensive linemen are aging, and Garrett Bradbury may be a 1-year rental at best. So you want to have his replacement in the pipelines, with the departure of Drew Dahlman. And so you want to have your futuristic / contingency plan put together. And some of that still comes along with the players you select this year. So it's imperative to kind of understand that these top 30 visits can give you far more insight into what might happen, because these things don't typically just randomly go about. It's kind of a blueprint to how a team may perceive. Because I don't think, even if you don't draft somebody, you don't take a 30 visit with someone you're not interested in. I think it just shows whether or not that level of interest can increase, maintain, or decrease. And I think that's what those top 30 visits really do for us, because it kind of, it's like that note, yes, no, and maybe back in the day. It may be maybe for all of them right now, but could turn yes, could turn no. And so the next time you see a top 30 visit, I don't necessarily want you to just scroll right past it, because next year, or even this year, that might be the next Chicago Bear. And let's say that you had a little bit of insight to see a click, a tweet, a post, whatever you want to call it, and you like the player, you researched them, and lo and behold, the Bears drafted them. Around here, I don't call that a guess. I call that tracking your delivery, man. You are attempting to make sure your package, i.e. player that can benefit your team, is adequately and properly dropped into the fold for you. I mean, and what better way to try to compound that and find out if it works other than us get into a mock draft? And we got to have the opportunity to, deliver the package per se. We tracked it. We shopped for it. We identified everything we wanted. Now we go out and order. Now, right now, it's delivery on that. Can we go out and deliver on drafting and comprising a team of draft picks or draftees based on our top 30 visits that we have went through with players for the Bears right now? We are going to enter into our mock draft room. That mock draft room will allow us the opportunities for trades, back, and trade ups. I will periodically give us some poll questions so that we can decide whether or not we want to proceed with a trade or move along. But without further ado to it, we are going to get into some mock draft madness. So let me first get there for you and tell you what we're going to use. Mock Draft Hero is going to be what we use out here. And I got to restart my draft because I was well into something over here, getting it going. As a matter of fact, just because I will finish this up in a real rushed way. I had an Allen running back, so Roman Hemby will be selected really quickly for us. And let me I don't even want to show y'all that because it's not our real draft, but we do got we do have it for you there if you want to see everything that we have going on. And what we'll do is move me to the other side. Go ahead, let it ride. About to do this. Can't say the word, let's ride. We on the mock draft. And you see the aftermath. About to go through the draft. Jihan to go and laugh at yourself in the fucking mirror. About to see the shit real. Who is Scoop? Who is Scooby Williams? Scooby. Scooby. Jamarian. All positions is what we want to see. Real quick, before we get into the last one, I might as well, because we got a couple draft picks here, so let's go ahead and make them. Interior, is you fast or no? Oh yeah, that's what we on, Caleb Douglas. We're going to get us a Caleb 6'3", 206-pound wide receiver. And then we're going to see if we can get us a Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Just because your name's Scooby, you on the squad, buddy. Kalen Black was still available, but we didn't want Kalen Black because I don't like him. And where's my guy Scooby at? Did I miss my guy Scooby-Dooby-Doo already? Yeah, he's way down the list. We'll take Nadamus Tucker. And we should be done. I don't think we got any more picks, but we got a lot of the picks matriculate down the board so we can be done with them. That will wrap up and we will get into our actual draft. But why not finish that up as we're using Mock Draft Hero as the draft site of the day. So if you want to do mock drafts for your team, you can set the amount of rounds, you can set trades or not, so on and so forth. And we will show trade aspect of this for our team, just so that people can get a understanding. The Bears, in this instance, selected Zion Young in the first round, AJ Halsey. Right after that, Grayson Holden, Romello Height, Caleb Proctor. So we went all defense in our first 6 picks because we finished it up with Harold Perkins at pick 116. We went to the offensive line to get a left tackle. Drew Shelton was the pick. We went out and got another linebacker. We did not get a center like a goofball because we let all of them that we liked be drafted. But in the end, we got a wide receiver, another edge, and the running back. So I think even though they won't give us the whole, what do you call it, grade or breakdown of it right now, they did give us that much of, they gave us enough to be happy about. Right now, they got some rendering going on as they save my image for me, so I appreciate that. And we move along. So now we back. We are brand new in the draft. We're going to start the draft. Get everybody back to the top of the board so we can see everything that's there. When Mendoza and the likes are all there for us. Not changing my team, but I had to go ahead and see that. Reset the filters. The app is going on. Now I want to reset that board period because I want to see updated names. And there we go. We got updated names there. We're going to choose our team. Our team is, in fact, the Bears. Close it up. And if we will, we're going to get started right here, right now. So let's see what we got going on, everybody. And this will go, I'm assuming, fairly expedient. So let's hope we can power through as we wrap up our Sunday edition of Top 30 Draft Visits and a little bit of mock madness hosted by your boy. Hit the like button. I like this little beat. It's in my head. Walker's off the board at 20. Methodor off the board. Now the Bears have 3 trade offers here, so let's go through those. But before we do, we'll go through who's available. Dylan Tiedemann is available right now still. Offensive tackle Caleb Lomu. Defensive lineman Peter Woods. Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Safety from Toledo. Edge TJ Parker. Caden McDonald. Cassius Howell. Caleb Banks. Zion Young. Malachi Lawrence. Those are the guys I think that we still have available out here for us. So we're going to look at these trades and see if anything might make sense for us to trade back. Let's find out. So right now, I can already say we're going to reject a trade from Pittsburgh because it's trash to start with. And it's stupid. So right now, the Steelers want to get our 25th pick, our 89th pick, and 129. And they want to give us their 2nd round pick, a 5th round pick, and a 1st next year. And you know what we say about that? Get out of here. Don't care. Next, the boys in New England want to give us their 31st pick, their 95th pick, and 171st pick for pick 25. Won't lie to you, I'm kind of interested in that trade right there, as I do think that a person like McDonald or a safety will be available for us. I think McDonald will definitely be available for us by 30. Or even Caleb Banks. I'm not opposed to either one of them. So that's a trade I really like right there. Like, they get 25. We get pick 31. We drop back 6 spots. Still in the 1st round, no less. And we pick up a 3rd rounder and a 5th this year. I really like that. And then the last one is with Buffalo. We can drop back 1 spot and pick up an extra 5th. So, T-Miles, we taking one of these deals here. It's going to be either the offer from New England or the offer from Buffalo. Now, I'm leaning towards New England. But of the two, which deal would we take? Let's see. If we had to come up with a well, you know what I didn't do over here? I didn't add in the opportunity for a nice little hider. I need some of that right there. Yeah, I need to take that for a minute as I give you a nice little poll question. Poll question. There's plenty of those, sir. Yeah, we definitely gonna come away with a lot of starters. Now, while we do this, let's go through some of the options that now we're looking at the safety position. So for safety right now, you still have Dylan Tyneman available. You still got Emmanuel McNeil Warren. You still got Kamari Ramsey, AJ Halsey, and Jason Kilgore. Not to mention Jalen Kilgore. Now, Kilgore is somebody, and mind you, this draft is going to be focused on a lot of people we scouted or had in for a visit. So we did have in Jalen Kilgore for a visit. So Kilgore would be our initial safety read when it comes to coming away with that guy, just based on who we guarantee they had in for a visit. But which one of these trades are we gonna come away with? Boom. Because I think, let me see, and we ain't gonna waste too much time. In the interest of time, we're gonna see. Hey, I think somebody will agree with me anyway, so we ain't gonna wait. We don't got time to go through the whole wait, the whole T-Mouse, we got no evidence that they had any visits with either one of those guys. The guy they had out there was Kilgore. But in the interest of all positions, Caden McDonald is the top available draft pick left for people that we want. And as much as I would like to take a Cassius Howell or a Zion Young, Caden will be the pick based on top 30 visits. Let's make it. So Caden's pre-draft 32. We got him at 31. Remember, BPA based on our top 30 visits. We're trying to go through our top 30 board with our draft this time. And then once those people are gone, then we have to adopt best player available. I totally agree. Now, you do have your boy AJ Halsey available right at the moment. We will look at these trades and see if there's an opportunity for us to come away, because they do need a safety. So I'm worried about San Francisco perhaps trying to get to him before 60. But let's look at what they're trying to offer. So Seattle wants to give us a second and a third for a second and a fifth. Houston wants to give us their 59th pick and a 5th round pick. He said, he knows who I want. Tampa wants to give us a 3, 4, and 5. I'm not interested in going back that far, Tampa, even though we got another pick in this round. Houston is a 59. They want us to go back 6 spots here and pick up a 4th. They want us to go back 2 spots and pick up a 5th. So I'm trying to see. Let's look at the safety position available first. So think about it. You got AJ Halsey, Kamari Ramsey, and Kilgore both and let's go back to the board because I do believe that real fast. Yeah, so Jalen Kilgore and Kamari Ramsey are both people that the Bears have looked at. So we will set our sights right now. We're gonna set it on Kamari Ramsey. But what we will do is this right here. We are gonna look at this trade again. I believe it'll be do I want another 3rd? Or a 4th. We already traded with New England. That's my cuz. How you feeling? Juice Drops Entertainment. Now I'm trying to figure it out. Do we move back 6 spots? Because we're still picking at 60, so we still might be able to get Halsey at 60. And I'm pretty sure we'll have the ammo to get a Kilgore. We're gonna go back 2 spots and pick up another 5th. So we'll take Houston's deal. No, sir. You how that went? See how that went for us right there? Look at this. Would you look at this? They want to give us a 3rd, a 4th, and a 6th. They want to give us a 3rd and a 4th. They want to give us a 3rd and a 5th. Now, New Orleans is probably going to get this deal. Well, let me see. Because we pick at 60. What do Houston need? New Orleans don't need a safety. Yeah, New Orleans don't need a safety. So, since they don't need a safety, we're going to get back what we just gave up. Wait, let's make sure it wasn't them. Yeah, they don't. And there we go. got you, T-Miles. We cooking, baby. We cooking, T. I ain't gonna take it, but I want to look at it. Long live Devin Hester. All right, let's get back to the board and who the Bears have been looking at. So, people that's available. The Bears have looked at none of these guys that I know of. I did look at Kamari and Romello. When do I draft next, though? 89th is when we draft next. And we need an edge. So Danny Dennis Sutton and Romello Height. Danny it is. We picked Caden McDonald. We picked AJ Halsey. And we picked my boy we just picked up right then. Danny Dennis Sutton. Oh, they just took Romello right ahead of us. They took Romello right ahead of us. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. Kieran Crawford, LT Overton, Anthony Lucas, and Tyrese Sapp. If the Bears look at any of these guys. Man, let me see. Did we look at any of these guys now? I can't remember. R. Mason, we looked at. Renee Conga. Renee Conga is probably going to be the only person left still. Right there. So that's going to be the problem. Let's even see where Renee Conga is slotted. You got to be pretty low down, I think. You ain't even on the board. So you may... Is he gone already? Well, it won't be you. That guy's gone. We still need to get some edge rushing help out here. Let's do a little scouting report. 4.8 for LT. You kind of slow. Alabama guy. Disruptor for Alabama. 9.5 tackles for loss. 36 tackles, 5 sacks. Okay. Twitchy athleticism and leadership. Just one of them Ryan Poles things right there. Oh, you right, man. We did get Danny Dennis Sutton. We do got an edge. We do have an edge. But this dude got 43 quarterback pressures. According to PFF, his consistent ability to collapse the pocket from the edge. So there we go. You weren't on our radar, but Kieran, think you coming home with us. We got interior offensive lineman, offensive tackle, cornerback, and linebacker still to get. So let's look at the linebackers. Let's look at all positions first. Let's just do it that way. So we still got Kamari Ramsey, who was a part of the board, and I'm almost inclined to draft Kamari just because, or they do have Julian Neal that is on the board right now at cornerback. That can help us out. Jalen Kilgore is still available. So the safeties that they wanted us to get are still available while we try to stick to the board. Let's not deviate from that particular. Even if this is not the draft that would, I guess, set us on fire, we still want to be able to see if we can keep up some of those names. So in this instance here, I think we will take a cornerback, because a cornerback like Julian Neal, who has been reported to have a top 30 visit with the Bears, is still available. Cornerback is a need, and we will have other opportunities to go back into the well for possibly somebody like a Kieran. It won't be him because he'll be gone. I'm certain of it. Devin Moore is a good corner at 6'3", 198. So I don't want to get rid of the thought that we couldn't look at a guy like Dalen Everett in Georgia. But those guys haven't been reported. Julian is a guy who's been reported to have a visit, which makes me want to draft him off of that need alone. And I think for that reason and that reason only, Julian Neal's next guy off the board for us. Now, right now, we are at pick 95. Kieran is still available. Logan Jones, the interior offensive lineman. Let's see. So Logan enters the draft process as one of the most decorated interior linemen in the country, winning the Remington Award as the nation's top center. Unanimous All-American, Jones also earned first team Big Ten honors in 24 and 25. Started 50 games, elite consistency and leadership. Strengths include extensive experience, improving reliability, and a high-volume rushing attack. Gotcha. Logan Jones is the center, who we're referring to right now. T. Miles. Now, mind you, we still have, in terms of that position, the guys that the Bears have interviewed would be Parker Brailsford, Jaeger Burden. I believe that's the only people I could think of here, because everybody else is yeah, everybody else drafted. So Jaeger, Parker, and make sure a real quick referral. Yep, Brian Parker as well. All of these are centers that we're speaking of. Everybody I'm talking about right now is a center position. Tennessee is offering a position, but I ain't going to do it. Eagles is offering a 6th round pick to move up 3 spots. So right now, Logan Jones is 99 in the database. Key Wheatley is a good player, but not on the board for us just yet. Brian Parker, another guy that is, I guess, set to be a tackle in this league here. So we'll look at that right there. I think we still got a couple good positional players there. Offensive tackle, I do believe we'll have a Drew Shelton, if I'm not mistaken. Drew Shelton is the guy that's still available for us there. Along with Brian Parker, as I spoke of. So our defensive options right here will be Kilgore, Crawford, Devin Moore, somebody like that. But I believe we did all we wanted to. Along the line here. Happy Easter to you, Ken. What's going on with you, my brother? Julian Neal's the cornerback we just got. So, we trying to figure out what we picking up next. If this we pick at 95 right now, 95, and we pick at 129. Now, they say we need a center or interior offensive lineman, I should say. So far, Ken, we got Caden McDonald in the first round. We got AJ Halsey in the second round. We got Danny Dennis Sutton in the third round. And we got Julian Neal in the fourth. What we are attempting to do is, based on the top 30 visits that we've had, we are trying to draft those players that have had top 30 visits primarily on the team. And if they are not available at such a time, then we seek to have best player available to keep up with Ryan Poe's theory there. I'm not drafting no receiver in the third round. Not happening. We don't even need one. Now, what to do? I like that pick because I think somebody will try to trade with us again. I think yeah, I said the hey, I ain't watching no games or anything, right, Ken? Honestly, it's a long season. I'm trying to get so wrapped up in the minutia, but eventually we have to unpack what is the Chicago Cubs right now. Now I am interested, I think, in taking Philly's offer and seeing if something can shake for us. See if we can get a better offer at the end here. So we're gonna see what they take. They wanted Kilgores and stuff like that. He said one of them let's look. So Elijah Surratt is the guy that's a wide receiver from Indiana, 6'2", 210. They don't talk about his speed out here at T Miles. Yes, you need receivers. You don't have to get them in the third round, is what I said. Yes, yeah. Yeah. Just the third round. It's not late round. He said, I get it. Coleman can line up in the slot right now, but we're looking at Jay Walker and Buddy from Detroit. I dig what you're saying. I'm saying you don't need to spend such high draft capital on your fourth receiver, because however we look at it, nobody you draft is coming in to be one of your top 3 receivers. So you don't need to spend third round capital on a fourth or fifth receiver. Injury or anything else, you wouldn't spend that amount of capital on somebody that good to be your insurance replacement. Nor would you spend such high capital on somebody that is there to learn and be there just in case. For example, Jade was a good depth piece last year when Rome went down. We got Jade as an undrafted free agent. We didn't go spend a third round pick in anticipation of somebody to get hurt. And so, yes, I know what you're saying. I'm just speaking of the draft capital that we have to spend on that. I don't think that we should be drafting a wide receiver in the third round, because that would imply to me that you are a starter. And at that point, that says that you pushing everybody behind Rome and Luther with the rookie if you draft him that high. And I don't think they value a wide receiver. That I could be wrong, but I don't think they would draft one so high, right now. Is just what I'm saying. That's all. And so, one last trade. There we go. All right. Ken. So they did a top 30 visit for 2 tight ends. T Miles wasn't having none of that shit. T Miles said, ain't no way, bruh. So Jaeger Burden is the guy that's on our draft list. Right now, we pick at 108. I don't want to get too far away from that. We still need a linebacker, according to them. And, the line needs to be addressed. No. I kind of like this San Francisco trade right there. We dropped back in the 4th round because right now nobody's standing out to us for who we're going to pick. And if we go back right here, I think we can get a wide receiver and we can get a linebacker. Or maybe linebacker and another person on defense, but yeah. Oh yeah. We did talk about that, T Miles. We did talk about that with Smythe. You're right. We did talk about that. You're right. What Miami trying to give us? Miami want to give us 4th, 5th, and 7th. No, I think I think I'm going to go with San Francisco, but let's look at the board one more time. So Yeager is going to be available for us, allegedly, in theory. Let's get off of that. Let's go to the offensive tackles to see who we're going to have. Brian Parker is a guy that has already been kind of heavily looked at. And I'm wondering if he's going to be there in a moment. And let's look back. They visited a couple of wide receivers. They visited a lot of wide receivers, I should say, Ken. They did a visit with some running backs. They did a visit with some offensive linemen that's still out here, a couple of them in particular. And so we're going to see if we can get some things done. And I think this trade right here with Frisco is going to allow us to get everything we need to be able to wrap up the day. So let's go ahead and see how that one goes. We'll accept that trade. And let's see what comes about. I'm wholly fixated on seeing if Brian Parker is still available at this point. He's off the board, just went off the board. Yeah. So we got Emmett Johnson. Sam Roush is a tight end they looked at as a blocker. Zane Durant is still available. Caleb Earlams or Parker Brailsford. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to look at Brailsford, perhaps. Oh, my guy Jaeger Burton's still here. So besides Jaeger, we got a opportunity at a steal here in Zane Durant. I think we're going to get that because I need that. Pittsburgh, no trade with you. No trades with you, Pittsburgh. We need a linebacker. So let's look at the linebackers. Jimmy Rolder is still available for us. We're gonna attempt to select Jimmy Rolder. We will also attempt to get maybe a Caleb. Elam's Aura. Now wait a minute. Detroit needs a linebacker, a safety, interior offensive lineman. Pittsburgh, you better not be full of shit, G Honda. Zane Durant's coming home with us. G Honda ungrateful. He don't know how to have a good tight end. He always want more. He want more. You got to be happy. He always want more. Now, Dejon Striblin is 6'2", 207 pounds, and he is a guy that the Bears brought in for a 30 visit. 6'2", 207-pound wide receiver out of Ole Miss. Runs a 4.36, 10-inch hands, 10.7 broad jump, and 36-inch vertical. He is a guy that is on the board at a spot slightly under where we are going to select him right now. He is going to be the next 30 visit, and 135 I would anticipate being the center of choice, which would be a Jaeger Burton coming up. So here we go. Dejon Striblin will be our draft pick at 132. We got a wide receiver. That's a speed receiver. Go over the top. Don't care about it next year. So no, sir. And we are going to look at a so Jaeger is going to be there for us, I believe. Do we here take a linebacker that is higher ranked than what we want and still attempt to get the other one? We got a 4.4 40 out of him. 130 tackles. 11 for loss and 4 sacks. 11 tackle performance in the Alamo Bowl this year. He said he's a high volume tackler, recognized for sideline and sideline range and instinctive ability to stop the run. His draft profile is defined by elite pursuit speed and a consistent motor that makes him a primary playmaker in the middle of the defense. And at this old age of mine, this guy's coming home with us. So there we go. Caleb Elam-Zor off the board. God damn it, they took Jimmy Rolder. Literally took Jimmy Rolder right after us, and that was my guy I wanted to get as a Bear 30 visit. I'm so annoyed with that right there. Oh, I'm so annoyed by that. So Jaeger, you off the board right now. I'm so annoyed with that right there. God. Justin Jefferson, linebacker from Alabama. Roman Hemby, he was in. Demonte Capehart. Drew Shelton is going to be our draft pick here because that is too good to pass up at left tackle. 6'5", 313. I think he is just a mammoth of a player out there. Third most snaps. Now, what makes me shy away from him is that he won't be immediately available because of a late knee injury. So then it gets you looking at a guy like a Austin Barber from Florida, 6'7", 318. He got to improve his pass pro. He allowed 2 sacks and 13 hurries. Cole Payton is somebody that I heard we brought in, but let's get back to a couple other spots out here just to make sure. So we need a Offensive lineman is what they say we need left, and that's everything else is what we want to pick up afterwards. So let's see what we might have left available. Ethan Kalikmanis, we might look at if we still got anything. We'll look for Kalen Black and Seth McGowan. We will look for Dan Villari. Dan Villari seems to be the guy we're going to look for, and we may look for Ontario Thompson. So let's get out here. Defensive lineman. Let's see if Ontario is still here. Renee Conga, we had a visit with Renee, so Renee will be somebody that's available for us that we will look at a selection for to keep with the board and draft some guys that the Bears brought in. Running back, we will see Seth McGowan is still available and Kalen Black, so we'll have the opportunity to look at both of those guys perhaps. Seth runs a 4.4, and he got reliable hands. So I'm liking a little bit of what Seth brings. Kalen Black is not my guy because he is short, Stu Dog. He got elite weight room strength. He lacks breakaway speed. But he got the high five football IQ and proven ability as a reliable pass blocker. What the hell? Le'Veon Moss. So it's looking like a guy like Seth McGowan is where you look to get the pick right now. And this is because we want it. No, Chelsea. First of all, I'm 5'10", so short person. Kyle Monungai is the short, stocky running back on the team. The other one should be somewhat of an opposite, so he can be a speed guy and a strider. So that's why Seth McGowan, who's only 6 foot, so he's not towering over him. And Adam Randall is, in fact, the better guy in terms of height and everything like that. But Seth is 6'1", 223. I think that in this instance, he's going to give us one of the best opportunities. Not to mention, we actually had him in for a visit. And his draft status would indicate that. Like, both of these guys look pretty good. Nick Singleton look pretty nice out there. You 5'12". Hey, 5'10" ain't tall. Nobody the 6 footers in there who want 6 footers and everything. I'm 5'9" 3/4. I gotta put shoes on to get that 5'10". Tell you the truth, we ain't gonna capture you. Seth McGowan off the board. Let's get him because we BSing. We pump faking, as I say in the world. Now we back to back over here now. So we're gonna get out here and Drew Shelton off the board at 138. That's the guy we wanted. Everybody want to be like us right now. No, we just leave it. We'll leave it alone out here, guy. And now we strictly looking for people that the Bears brought in for a visit. Renee Conga. That's who we're going to look for right now. Conga. Conga and Valari. Let's look for Conga and Valari. And quarterback. So these all our picks right now are going to go strictly on who we can identify that the Bears have looked at and have the ability to be drafted. It's just simple for us right now. Yeah, like Dan Valari and all them boys, y'all undrafted free agents damn near. So we got 171 remaining. 190. 197. Oh yeah, we just gonna go through and pick. Yeah, so top of the board here. We're gonna get the best player available. And by that I don't mean yo ass boy. We got so many players out here. Joe Royer. Jaden Kennedy. This is where the minutia gets in, and I don't know too much about what we're looking at. But we're going to take Nadame Tucker as an edge guy. Ken, how's your day been, man? George Gums. Mikal Kamara. Yeah, I don't have girly eyelashes like me. They always make you think you got something in your eye. Same to you, Stu. 4.40 for a 6'3" guy out here. So he got big playability. Sturdivant. Look at him. Man, I ain't looked at the Cubs, man. The power didn't come on until about 11 o'clock or something like that in the area. Maybe I'm an hour or so off of that, but the day started late, so. I know we're going through these. Let me go ahead and get it because we're going to get them. Dan Valari, step up. Where you at, Danny? Danny Valari. Danny Valari, you're on my team. They took Joe Royer and Josh Cuevas. So I should have took both of them tight ends. They took a whole bunch of tight ends right there. John Michael Gillenborg. My apologies for whoever got something going on in the background over there. People don't hear they vehicles outside. Boy, somebody ought to be hurt. They ought to be hurt out there for not hearing that all the damn time. So Cole Payton is the quarterback still available right now. Let's look at Cole. He a project. We're going to take a quarterback as a project, y'all. Y'all think I'm playing? Watch us. Max Llewellyn on the board. Okay. Oh my God. AG. You know they be on it out there like that. I know. Come on, G, huh? I don't know what a toe goat is. Of course I know what a toe goat is, Jack. And on the interest, we're going to get this moving and grooving because, God, I forgot. This is where the trades won't be happening so much, especially when we get into the next two streams or so. We'll try to stick to the board a lot more just in the interest of being as realistic as possible because I do think they'll make some trades, but I know they won't be to the level of which I did today. But it does give you an opportunity to kind of see the different ways you can mix and match and kind of get some things going that you might need out here. Former high school basketball player right here. Tight end. I take him a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I got this pick, 2, 3, 4 picks left, I believe. I got 4 picks. Oh, hey, thank you. You don't, man. I don't think it. Don't do me like that in the first round right there, especially Stu. And I'm telling you, well, so today we traded back. We traded back from 25 to 31. From 25 to 31, and we got Caden McDaniels in the first round. I'm all about trading back because the level of player that's still available is ever ending. I think you're gonna be able to find a day one starter if you stay at 25 or if you trade back. and I'm talking about trade back even into the second round, you're gonna be able to find a starter. I think from 25 to like at least 45, the player status is negligible, and I think it's really gonna be basically what's your style, what you like, and how you feel about it. Because I don't really think it's gonna be anything different that's gonna make them have to really critically overanalyze the position and be like, damn, I don't ever want that. And I'm really taking so much time right now because we got 5 players to get, and I really do want to look into this guy, John Michael Gillenborg. I don't know why he's on my radar right now. As a tight end, because I shouldn't be looking for another tight end. See, George used to be, he an edge rusher, used to play wide receiver and tight end. See, he's still working on technical refinement right now. So I think we're gonna take a George Gums right now, and then everything else we'll try to stick to the board for us right now. And we're going to skip past everything right here, and I want to go get somebody that's on the board already for the Bears in terms of who they have brought in for a visit. Renee Conger will come off the board for your boy. And they say Gillenborg might be something like that. I'm gonna take Gillenborg just because I want him. And then let's see what's the last that I can get that the Bears might want. Kona, Markel Bell, Omar Cooper Jr., Chris Bell. Let's see if any of these guys out there. Wide receiver. Jordan Hudson is a DJ Moore type dude. So none of those guys, I don't believe. Seth McGowan, Kalen Black. We got Seth already. We got Yeager. Ethan wasn't there. Jimmy right after us. Caden. Now, last pick, guys. Hell yeah, they did. DJ Campbell. It's going to be our last pick anyway, but I'm just trying to see if we can get anything of value out there. That is, we might pick you up. Durability concerns is your problem. Thaddeus. So we're going to go get this fast guy out here. J. Michael Sturdivant is going to be our last particular, I believe. And there we go. So here we go, y'all. We got the 31st pick, defensive lineman from Ohio State, T. Miles to Caden McDonald. 60th pick, safety, Louisiana State, or you can call it LSU, AJ Halsey. 3rd pick, edge from Penn State, Danny Dennis Sutton. The 4th pick we got was our cornerback, top 30 visit. 2 of our top 4 were top 30 visits as well, by the way. Julian Neal, cornerback, Arkansas. One of my draft favorites and the draft crush for me, Zane Durant, 4th round pick, defensive lineman out of Penn State. We addressed another top 30 visit with wide receiver from Ole Miss, the speedster, Mr. Deshaun Stribling. We followed that up with a linebacker need that was 1 pick after went a guy on the board already that we should have maybe picked up, didn't know Jimmy would be gone. Caleb Elamzor, TCU. We then started back. Malachi Lawrence, he was available in this one. We could have got him in the 2nd round. We could have traded back more, but this time we tried to stick to the top 30 visit board for the most part. With, you know, especially with the next 2 picks, with Jaeger Burden and Seth McGowan. Both of those guys had top 30 visits with the Bears. So the interior offensive lineman, the center, and the running back both off the board. Drew Sheldon is the left tackle prospect that's getting some hype in a lot of our mock drafts, and a couple of other guys as far as the draftniks who actually know what they talk about. Nadame Tucker just took a flyer on a small guy from edge rushing school. Edge rusher from a smaller school, I should say. See if he can give us some of those Antonio Brown vibes, Western Michigan, and give us a little fire. Next, we got another top 30 visit with tight end from Syracuse, Dan Villari. Cole Payton. Don't know if they had a top 30 visit with them, but I've heard things about Cole Payton as far as a guy that is looked at by people for prospects for quarterback. Max Llewellyn, another edge from Iowa. Got to keep throwing darts at that edge until he fixes himself on the defensive line. And that coincided with another top 30 visit, I should say, at 239 with defensive tackle out of Louisville, Renee Conga. Before Renee, we did select another edge to throw one more dart again with George Gums Jr., Florida edge. We got a tight end that I've heard a bit about that I know we might not need him, but I think he's a weapon and he might be able to be flipped, if not eventually replace Cole. And John Michael Gyllenhaal, I believe. And last, J. Michael Sturdivant, wide receiver from Florida, top end speed. We need playmakers. We all about that base, no trouble. We trying to get it out here with the team. Let me know. We got 1, 2, 6. All right, yeah, we got 18 picks in this draft, y'all. We started with 7. We made some shrewd moves. I don't believe we anticipated that much movement. Nonetheless, those are things that have been taken care of. So, if we had to, what would be the draft grade we give each other for the construction of this roster here? I know that we will have, like I said, several opportunities to continue to put these things together. But in this instance, we did want to tie together the best opportunity to see what a top 30 visit could infer for a draft prospect in terms of potential landing ability with a given team. That team happens to be my beloved Bears. Everyone has 30 visits. Look more into those 30 visits to find out exactly what may be the thought process going along with your team when it comes to starting those selections on a Thursday, I believe, April 23rd. T-Miles gave us a B+. I'm always safe with a B+. And I think everybody's draft should get a C until further notice, meaning it's average. It looks okay on paper. It's not too disrespectful. And you got your opportunity to change my mind and move up or down. But B+ will be a damn good grade for us to look at on the whole. And I don't think that would be anything, just a slight. I think we got some pretty good players. We got a lot of players we don't know. And we're going to be able to evaluate these and more in the upcoming days. Shout out to everybody who has come through for the stream and enjoyed a little bit of the Easter Sunday with your boy. I appreciate everybody on my Twitch family for pulling up, showing a little bit of unexpected resurrectory love on the YouTube. So shout out to everybody. Ken, Z Honda, Chelsea, T Miles. Can't thank you enough for always being around, hanging out, giving me your best harassment and feedback. Derek Gaines and everybody who showed up for me today. Lauren pulled on up as well very early in the game. I may have missed a lot of people, but I appreciate everybody being here. It is time to go ahead and get a couple things done for the day, like eat, hang with the fam, and chill out. So, until next time, and until next delivery, I am your neighborhood GM, Postman 1914. And as you know, this is Mailbox Sports. We on.